and you're good at solving problems, you will generate wealth. Money is a byproduct of genuine knowledge that is used in a way that serves humanity, that solves a problem for somebody. My goal here is to share the way that I have solved my problems. This won't work for all of you. I am not everybody's coach. I don't want to be everybody's coach. Welcome back to Talk Hard Podcast. It's your man Brian, and I am just back here trying to spit some tattoos and testimony for you. And if you watched the last podcast, I babbled on for a good 20 minutes about personal inventory. And then this morning, I was listening to Ed Mylett. Ed, if you're watching, we need to talk. That brings me into my next topic, which is manifesting, because manifesting, I feel, is a very strategically important part of what it takes to create change. Here's why. If you go through your inventory list, you will soon understand that you have been manifesting things since the beginning of birth. Thoughts become things. Manifesting becomes reality because you attract the things that you focus on. So what I mean by that is you can manifest negativity just as much as you can manifest great things. You can manifest bad things to happen to you just as much as you can manifest amazing things to happen in your life. I know this to be true because if you take a personal inventory and you go back and look at your days and look at the patterns and look at the repetitions in your life, you will soon see that your limiting beliefs and your negative behaviors are causing all of the negative things that are happening in your life. So last week, I got on this whole personal inventory thing with the podcast. And if you didn't hear that, go back one more episode and check that out. And then this morning, I'm listening to Ed Mylett, and he is talking about taking personal inventory. And so this is what I mean about manifesting. He posted the video 3 days ago. I recorded my video over a week ago. But because I believe that although Ed is in California and I'm on the other side of the country, I am connected to him in a way through manifestation and positivity in this world, because the universe knows what I am looking for right now. It knows what I want to feed myself. My brain knows the diet we're on. And so it attracts the things that I need in my life. I did not tell Ed Mylett to go record this. I don't know when he recorded this. He could have had this copy of his personal inventory from 6 months ago. He just happened to edit it in one of the videos that I saw this morning on the way to work. So this is how manifesting works. Thoughts become things. Your reticular activating system is a part of the brain that tells you what to focus on. So if you want to get a better understanding of how this works, tomorrow morning, I want you to write down red car 10 times. And then I want you to imagine that you will get $100 for every red car that you see on the way to work. Now, I don't know what your drive to work looks like. This is assuming that you drive to work. I don't care if you're just going to the grocery store. I don't care if that grocery store is 2 miles away. I want you to write down red car 10 times. And then I want you to imagine that you will make $100 for every red car that you see. When you get to work, I want you to write down the amount of money you would have made, or when you the grocery store and back, I want you to write down the amount of money that you made. And then I want you to imagine what that would feel like to have made that kind of money in one day. Now, I don't know how many red cars are in your area. Honestly, right now, I don't know how many red cars are in my area, but I know that tomorrow morning, if I write that down and I go to work and I find 11 red cars, which I'm sure there are, I've just never noticed them. You will start to notice things like your neighbor has a red car because you are focused on, through a reward system, what you want in your life. Now, if you can take that same manifestation on a base level and begin to believe the same things are possible for all things in life, then you will begin to create the world around you. Because the truth about the way life and manifesting works is that nothing outside of you actually changes. What has changed is your focus on things. So instead of waking up every day like most of us do and going into autopilot, so we have 70 to 90,000 thoughts a day, over 90% of them are typically repeated from the day before. And if the majority of those thoughts are negative because you are stuck in a psycho-cybernetic loop of negativity, then at the end of the day, you're going to feel like your day sucked, because it did. because you were focused on how much your day wanted to suck. I deal with crap on a daily basis from work. The nature of my life is that in order to add value to people, you need to be really good at solving problems. So I deal with problems every day. The reality of what happens is my day, though, is that I don't see problems. I see opportunities. I see growth. I see challenges that are filled with dopaminergic responses for seeing it a different way. Because there is no rules to winning, as far as I'm concerned. If I got through the day and I felt good about what I have done when I lay my head down, then I have won. Now, because I focus on that through my manifesting, I'm always winning regardless. Because I just choose for there not to be another option. I have learned how to put myself in a space where now my manifesting is just automatic. When I shared the podcast, which hasn't been edited or released even as of now, so it hasn't been put in the universe, I just know that I did a video on inventory and how important it is to spend the time to dig into your inventory, your thoughts, and see what serves you and what doesn't, because your thoughts can either serve you or your thoughts can enslave you. The only difference is the choice that you make for these thoughts. So now my manifestation is automatic. So as I'm driving to work this morning, and I put on Ed Mylett because he does a lot of like daily vlogs and a lot of really cool things and shares a lot of amazing knowledge. And the guy is very articulate and great at speaking. And that is something that I strive to be better at. So I'm listening to him, and it went from the first 20 minutes of the video, he was discussing other things as far as like life changing, and then it went to a different cut, so he was in a different place, and he said how important it is to take a personal inventory. I just chuckled. I just laugh inside because I'm like, yep, that's how this works. And when you get good at manifesting, these are the kinds of things that happen in your life, and you will get so good at it, and you will rebuild your new unconscious to manifest for you, because you have trained it to live in that space, because you believe it to be true. So let's start small, because I recently had a client come to me and say, Brian, I just can't seem to get my life together. And my response to that was, you're not aiming low enough. And that is not a dig, but most of us way underestimate what we can do in a decade, and we overestimate what we can do in a year or in 30 days. We're looking for that quick fix. And I'm telling you right now, easy come, easy go. So if you want something to come quick and fast, you have to understand that it is going to go away in the exact same form and fashion. Until you have become so good at creating the life that you want, everything will then seem to come to you fast. But it is not because it has come to you fast. You've spent so much time creating this space of manifestation that it just doesn't stop. And when that space exists, amazing things happen. But again, let's start small. Write down red car 10 times tomorrow. Go to work and count how many cars and how much money you would have made. Remember, $100 for every red car you see, regardless of how far you are at work. At the end of that, I want you to sit there and imagine what that might feel like. And then I want you to take that same emotion that you're feeling, and I want you to attach it to a change that you want to make in your life. What is most important to you right now, and why? Most of us know what we're doing. We know how we're doing it, but we don't know why we do it. And so we get lost very quickly. You have to know your why. This is the purpose behind the inventory. This is the purpose behind real manifesting. Sorry, Chris, you can leave this in because this is amazing. Something else just hit me right now. There's a commercial on Ed Mylett's channel, and I mentioned this in the last podcast also. I do not believe personally in this whole grind hard every day, 25 hours you gotta work to make a good living. Go fuck yourself, okay? I'm sorry, but that is not how it has to be. Does that work? Yes. Does that work for most? Yes. Do some of you need that? Abso-fucking-lutely. But it is not the only way. I do not live like that. I go put in my hours at work. When I come home, I do what I need to. I relax when I want to. I build wealth in the way that I want to build it by sharing things like this with you. And as I begin to share these things, so my point is, this lady comes on and she is talking about a new form of manifestation, and she is talking about There is the hard work, dedicated manifestation, which can and does work for people. When you're not prepared for it, you often end up burnt out, resentful, your attitude can change, and your personal reality creates your personality. And so when that's all you see and you're worn out at the end of the day, you just feel like you don't want to do one more thing. To me, that's not serving people. Some people get a thrill out of that. And if you're young and you want to chase after things, and you do you, boo-boo. But I'm 43 and I have grinded and I have done the hard work and I have put in the things that they say, and I have gotten a lot of things. I have been very, very wealthy and I live comfortably now. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, I've been in the upper 5% of income brackets, and I ended up in the hospital. I ended up having a nervous breakdown where I completely have lost 5 hours of my life that I will never get back because I cannot recall them. My brain shut off. It said, you're done. And it got dangerous. So I don't believe in that anymore. I believe that when you are good at solving problems and you are genuinely good at caring about people because you've cared so much about yourself first, that you have nothing left but to just give more because you're full, you're good. And when you stay full, then you can just give things away all the time. When that happens and you're good at solving problems, you will generate wealth. Money is a byproduct of genuine knowledge that is used in a way that serves humanity, that solves a problem for somebody. My goal here is to share the way that I have solved my problems. This won't work for all of you. I am not everybody's coach. I don't want to be everybody's coach. I am very selective of the clients that I bring on, which is the purpose for my intro call. So I do an intro call. It costs $1 because there has to be a money transaction in order for the contract to be valid. Similarly to a lawyer, but I'm not one. I've just seen all the NCISs and all the other shows, so I feel like one. I'm also a doctor, and I'm also a lot of other things since I've watched a lot of TV. But anyways, I digress. My intro call is for us to understand each other. And I've had clients that have fired me and clients that I have fired. And I say fired just in the terminology of, I am not your coach. You are not my avatar. You are not my client. You are not what I like to call my talent. Because I believe that everybody is destined for greatness, but I understand that I do not know how to make everybody get there. That my method and what I have done will not work for everybody, which is why I put this on the platform for you for free so that you can just share this information. And if you're enjoying this information and you want to connect on a deeper level and you want to create greatness and you believe that you're ready, this is the most important thing when I bring on a new client. Are you ready to change? And then I ask why. What do you want to get from our conversation today and why? And when I don't feel that their why is driven from a genuine place of selfishness, meaning this is about me, then I don't take on that client. If you want to change because you and your wife are having, a bad spat, or you and your husband, or you and your boss, or you in another relationship, and you're driven by only wanting to change for someone else, I don't want to talk to you. I understand what you're going through because I have felt that way before, so I understand what it was like for me. I really don't know what it's like for you, but I have a concept. I don't want to work with you. You're not ready. You need to change from a place of selfishness. That starts with inventory, that gets into manifestation. So once you've done your inventory and you've started to see that you're manifesting negativity in your life, then you need to replace those things. A few simple tips that I like to give people when I'm trying to understand where someone is trying to go in their life. And so I had a client, probably 6 months ago, that really was driven by his form of success and was really wanting to build a life of financial wealth. And so I asked him what would that feel like to you? And let's talk about first what this feels like. And so we got into this discussion of feeling and understanding, and he was struggling to connect the dots. And so I said, do you have $250 spare dollars? Are you willing to invest $250 into your life? Yes. Okay. Are you over the age of 25 and have valid insurance? Yes. Okay. I recommend you go on Turo, which is a car site. It's an app that you can rent, and you can rent a Porsche. Trust me, I drive one. They feel amazing. Okay. So if you want to attach what I call like submersion coaching, where I get you into the feeling, go rent a Porsche. It's $200. If you want to go all out, you got a wife or girlfriend or something, dinner reservations, the whole nine, okay? Blow $200 to $500 on one night and completely submerge yourself in this feeling of what this is going to be like. Because some people, like before, I've had Lambos, I've had high-end Mercedes, I've had a lot of other cars. I wasn't ready for them, so when I had them, it was more stressful than enjoyable. So I always recommend somebody submerge themselves at least one night into that feeling of what you're going after, because at the end of that night, if you did not feel alive, if you did not feel fulfilled, if you did not feel driven to wake up the next day and go chase being able to repeat that night whenever you want, then you're not ready, or that's not what you actually want. Your why has not connected you to the thing yet. Now you can change from a place of pain, which is what most people's price for admission is. Mine is not. I am not struggling in life. I could completely settle where I'm at right now, live very comfortably. I don't check my bank account. I don't think much about money. I don't worry about things. We've got a beautiful home. We've got property. Like, I could be okay. I could build my little 401k, retire simply off in the wilderness. But that is not what I want for my life. And wealth isn't what I want for my life. I just understand that the byproduct of what I am doing with coaching, the podcast, and all of the ways that I help create a great life for myself is going to generate wealth. It's just the byproduct. It's a natural thing that happens. So if your why is like mine and you just want to continue to grow, then buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to go on a ride. You're more than willing to call me. We can do a consultation. If we vibe and you feel like we can connect and I connect with you, then we can lay out what it would look like. Or you can just keep watching and get all this information for free. The choice is yours. But if you follow along in order, okay? Don't treat this like a Pulp Fiction movie where you're watching forward, backwards, left, and right. It's not going to work. Watch them in order, and I will do my best to put them in the order that I followed when I created amazing change. I went from 25 years of addiction. 10 of those years were heroin and meth. In a world where I should be dead or in jail, I am now happily married, financially stable, and still generating wealth on a regular basis. I wake up and before I've even gotten to work, I feel like some sort of like manifesting high power because my thoughts become things all the time. So if you want to know what that's like, then please follow along. Share this journey with your friends. Comment, like, subscribe, reach out. Fans at talkhardfans.com. You can reach me, Brian, at GG Life Coaching. That's guided growth, gglifecoaching.com. You can check out the website. We can dive deeper, or you can just follow along. But if you've taken the time out of your day today, then I appreciate you, and I love you, and I believe that you were destined for greatness. But me believing that doesn't mean shit if you don't believe it yourself. So if you're ready to change, then let's go.